Introducing hose and fittings. Any GCSE physics textbook will define a machine as a device which transfers energy from one form into another, performing a task, the work in the process. All devices require an input of energy, whether it is the chemical energy used to lift a lever or the electrical energy used to power a computer. The more complex the machine, the more components it has. To ensure that machines operate as efficiently as possible, the various components must be properly connected. Any component, such as piping or tubing, that attaches different parts of a machine are generically termed a fitting. A hose is a flexible hollow which is used to transport fluids between different locations. In engineering, it is possible to use the term pipe interchangeably with hose because a pipe is a solid, inflexible tube that performs the same function. The overall design and composition of the hose and fittings must fit the functionality of the device itself. If the pipe and fittings combinations do not enable the machine to work as it should, then at some stage the overall efficiency and lifespan of the machine system itself are compromised. Why assemble the hose and fittings properly? In hydraulic systems, pressurized fluid including gases is used to drive a machine part. There is a transfer of energy due to the compression and flow of the hydraulic fluid through the hose or piping, which causes the movement of the machine component. The more complex the machine, the more fittings and adapters are required. Concurrently, the more pipes or hoses as well as fittings are needed to connect the whole system. It is often very difficult to ensure that the proper sealing method is employed with the right fittings and the right hose. In addition, it is often not possible to distinguish these elements by appearance alone, making the overall construction or refit process even more time-consuming. As such, to ensure the success of any maintenance or construction, only those who have specialist knowledge should undertake it. If hoses and fittings are not properly calibrated or assembled, then there is a risk of damage to the machinery and, more importantly, harm to its operators. Variables to consider: working pressure. It is common practice to ensure that the hose and fitting combination meets the maximum working pressure that the system will reach as a minimum standard. The extra pressures brought about by surges of fluid within the system are the exception and not the norm, but the fittings must accommodate these changes as if they were. Fluid compatibility. It sounds obvious, but the hose and fittings unit in its entirety must be chemically unreactive to both the fluid being transported and the material it is joining together. Within the industry, there is plenty of detailed information which details mutual suitability. Temperature range. In most applications, the fluid being transported is kept at a constant temperature. However, this does not always mean room temperature, and it can change during the transport or manufacturing process. It is, therefore, crucial that the hose and fittings are able to withstand changes in temperature in much the same way as they can pressure. Optimum values for temperature must be maintained because the connecting device can be degraded by extremes. All of these factors are of crucial importance when constructing any machine which involves the movement of fluid.